Street smart Nathan Drake, Tom Holland, is recruited by seasoned treasure hunter Victor Sully Sullivan, Mark Wahlberg, to recover a fortune amassed by Ferdinand Magellan and lost 500 years ago by the House of Moncada. What starts as a heist job for the duo becomes a globe-trotting white-knuckle race to reach the prize before the ruthless Santiago Moncada, Antonio Banderas, who believes he and his family are the rightful heirs. Huh? If Sully and Nate can decipher the clues and solve one of the world's oldest mysteries, they stand to find $5 billion in treasure and perhaps even Nate's long-lost brother, but only if they can learn to work together. Or, street smart Nathan Drake is recruited by seasoned treasure hunter Victor Sully Sullivan to recover a fortune amassed by Ferdinand Magellan and lost 500 years ago by the House of Moncada. The year is 2022. The day doesn't matter. The movie is Uncharted.
Hey, kid, why you so there, kid?
You ready, kid? Why'd you say kid?
We saw Uncharted.
Or did we tried to?
We saw it.
No, we saw it. I don't want to turn anyone that's never heard our show before.
No.
The second I said that, they said, well, I'm not listening to this.
Right.
Well, guess what? We did see it.
No, we did. We just saw it. We just got out of the theater.
What I said was in jest. This is a jester's sort of...
Yes.
We are jesters in the king's court.
Now, let's first... Because we'll keep this nice and short, and you probably have seen our other review episodes. They're 2-3 hours. We'll keep this one at 2.5 hours. What's your history with Uncharted, Mr. Joey?
Well, I thank you for asking me, as Uncharted is my favorite video game series, and I've been with it from the beginning. 4 years ago, I got the Uncharted 1 through 3 remastered
Set.
It's not even a series, it's a set. It is a series of games. I'm so tongue-tied just thinking that maybe Nathan Drake himself might listen to this episode.
Hey, kid, what happened to you? Okay, I've done that before.
Good luck.
Good luck. We'll get into it.
So, and if you saw the movie, you probably are laughing along with us and going, I remember that part of the film you're talking about. So I played the Uncharted games, the first 3 in about, I'd say, a month. I dove head first into these games. I did nothing else. I didn't even have a PS4 for the longest time. I bought it to play Spider-Man, and then I said, what else can I get my grubby little hands on? And I just sat in my house day and night playing the first one, the second one, the third one, and I finally got to the fourth one because I said, please, Landon, let me play the fourth one first. And he said, no. You have to play the first 3 to see how the whole story unfolds. And I played and played for days. I would just sit there and I said, how long has it been? 12 hours. I've been playing this game all day. And I played. And then at the end, I saw the beautiful wrap up of the 10 years that I've spent with this man. Mm-hmm. And I cried like a child. And then I waited in solitude for this day to come where the Uncharted movie, and this is the lunch break review, so we will be calling it Luncharted.
Yes.
The Luncharted movie was released.
Yes.
And was it everything that I hoped it would be? Landon, what's your history with the Uncharted series?
I, on a whim, bought the first game when it came out. A little young boy. And I used to get that PlayStation magazine. Ever heard of it?
That one.
And they would show you all the different types of games that are for the PlayStation. And you'd read article after article about stuff that you'll never, ever, ever play because it looks so stupid. And you're not even really a gamer, are you?
Right.
You're just a little boy, mustachioed as can be. You have no friends, yet you still know that you shouldn't be spending your time playing video games all day. So you don't really play much video games. But you do play much Uncharted because you see that it got a good review in the PlayStation Magazine, and you say, I like Indiana Jones. They said this is like Indiana Jones. So you go, you buy it, you play it, you don't put the controller down until you finish the game, because that's how good it is. And then you're a fan until today, when I end my fandom.
This ended the fan, and I'm sorry for everyone that's looking at this video. They're probably confused because of how hot we're coming in. You can probably see if you're watching the video. I run a little hot.
Joey's from the Among Thieves era, and I, of course, wore my little Henley long sleeve. I am repping the Nathan Drake look.
We went to the movie in full cosplay.
Yeah, Joey and the Among Thieves.
And I was eating a mung bean.
This movie's terrible.
Get out of here, Drake and Mr. quote-unquote Sully.
Well, let's do our first thoughts. Mm-hmm. What's your first thought?
My first thought is, well, I didn't want to look I didn't want to see the score going in. I don't want to see the Rotten Tomatoes, the coagulated mash of all these different left and right wing doofuses online squallowing about in their own muck, talking about how the movie is this or that. I wanted to go in plain. And I think we both knew that the reviews were bad.
Yeah.
And then I saw the reviews anyway, and I said, 30%? Uh-oh. 39%.
The audience score is big time.
Yeah, and you know why? Because it's fun. The movie's good.
It is. It's a fun time at the cinema, I say.
What do you want?
Me?
Yes. Not out of, just what do you want?
Happiness, world peace, meta world peace.
Mm-hmm.
Mung beans. What do you want out of the movie? Well, first of all, when you're a fan since the day you were born like me, first of all, what you want is Nathan Fillion to be Nathan Drake. He's perfect for it.
Landon, stop. He's too old.
You're right.
So we must go with someone younger. We must show a young Nathan Drake on his first mission, and then we do a flashback to 2 years ago when he's even younger.
15 years ago. That's what's funny.
But when they jump back in the game, it's a huge, we're back to his childhood. He's had all these adventures we'll never know about to get to where he is.
Yes.
When they start a movie franchise or something, and the first adventure that the people do is like the biggest thing they've ever done, it's not very realistic.
No. Well, so before we go full spoilers.
Okay.
Because that's what movie reviews do.
Sorry, he went on an adventure. I haven't said anything yet, other than that there was also a flashback.
You liked it.
Sully dies.
You liked it. I liked it. We both had fun.
Liked it, yeah.
I could hear you going, and you could hear me going, and we would turn to each other at the theater. We did see it together.
Yes.
And we would turn to each other and say, and also we'd say, what did they say?
Let us know in the comments below if you also had the problem that we had, which was that the sound was weird. It was distorted, maybe?
What's funny, so before the movie, there was a Bob's Burger trailer that had subtitles for some reason. And Joey was all worried. He was looking all around, seeing if anyone else had noticed.
Because there was someone sitting in our theater that was also using a closed caption device.
Yes.
So we're like, okay, we know that they need closed captions.
Yeah.
But they're using a device to do it. And then the trailer for Bob's Burgers comes on, and she's like, "Oh, Bobby." And he's like, "I'm making a burger."
Yeah.
And it's saying that on the bottom of the screen, too. And then it says, like, Rumble approaches. Rumble gets louder.
They know how subtitles work.
But I want them to know that it's not just a simple...
No, it wasn't.
It was everything that I was hearing was also being dictated to me.
Well, smash cut to 2 minutes into the movie when you can't hear a single thing anyone's saying. We turn to each other and say, boy, I wish this was the subtitle.
And it's not that we couldn't hear in terms that it was quiet.
No.
We couldn't hear for some other sort of reason.
Yeah.
Maybe a mixing issue.
It was like
they wanted that guitar that's in the orchestra to swell. It's like
And Antonio Banderas is there, and he's saying,
just
barely, just enough where you're like, I think he did. I think I know what he said, but I'm not quite sure. So that was odd. Yeah, let us know if that was just our theater that done screwed up, or if the movie is nasty bad.
Because if Greg Marcus is going to come on the screen before the movie and go,
Ew.
you'll never have enough of badap, that issue, and you're not going to be watching me get smaller and smaller. But then the movie starts and I can't hear my ass from my head, you know?
That sounds like a personal problem.
But maybe we have to go see it again. We have to go to the big theater to see it with Dolby Atmos all around you.
Doppler. So, okay, we like it's a fun movie. Okay. We open at the close.
Yeah.
In media res, as they say.
This is and I don't want to talk about this movie here, but it's just
Uncharted? That's what we're here to talk about.
It's something that I wonder why they did it.
Well, you want to start the movie off with a bang because
are they trying to be like the video games?
Well, yes,
where you start the video game and you're just on a train that's
Among Thieves style. Yeah, I think it's probably that, and they knew that the first 30 minutes is without action, basically, because you have to set up 15 years ago, he had a brother that jumped out the window, and then he's a bartender, and then he does this, and but he's not fighting anyone, you're not getting to any big set piece, so they want to start you off with a bang.
Here's my idea. This was for the streaming. This was for the streamers because they know they're gonna get that people are gonna want to watch the Uncharted movie. They're gonna start. They're gonna start playing the movie, and it's just not. You just turn it off. You go to something else. But if they open.
And you first see the upside.
You see the upside down Ringo on his neck.
Yeah.
And you're like,
I like that. That was cool. That first shot, I say, okay, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah, because you go, oh, he upside down.
Yeah.
But he wasn't upside down. He's falling through the sky.
Yeah.
So I was wrong. But we open on that so we know we're going to get there at some point. Okay?
Yes.
We know at some point he's going to be hopping around. And then, of course, it is the fun thing where he catches the arm, and it's the arm of who else but his brother.
And then it says 15 years ago. Now, what we know about Tom Holland is that he is 25. He looks 18. But even let's give him that he's playing 30. I don't. What is he supposed to be?
No,
How
I
old
think
is he
he's
supposed
playing
to be?
25 in this.
So he is 25.
Because he says, when I was 10, my brother left.
So it does. So okay. So he was 10 in the flashback.
So he is playing him own age. Himon and Boomba.
So here's my biggest issue with the movie then. I don't want to see a young Nathan
Too
Drake.
young Gruff.
Give me the 30-something.
You know why?
He's been on a few adventures.
Okay,
we don't need to...
5 years older.
He's been on a few adventures. That's what's so great about that first game.
Yeah, he already knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing.
And he's got the history there. When he runs into someone, he's like, Rico.
Yeah.
And he's like, I was starting to suspect that you had forgotten about me. He's like, no.
How could I forget a face like that? But you get the history. You get that he and Sully have known each other for a long time. You get that he is ingrained in this world.
And you're going to tell me you can't get a young... You're going to tell me you can't get an old guy to play Sully? An older gentleman? Daniel Craig is 50.
Get Danny.
Something.
Yeah.
Put a mustache on him. He already does for those other movies. You've got Harrison Ford, who is 80, doing Indiana Jones. You can't... The whatever Mark Wahlberg did in this movie, you could get a 60 to 70-year-old fit
Well,
gentleman.
That's the.
But how old is Sully? 50, 60 in the game.
In the game, yeah, he's probably 50,
He's pushing
60.
60.
But he's always in the game. He's always basically keeping up with Nathan, even though he's always complaining. Nathan, you know I can't keep up with you, and then he does. He climbs everything.
He's like when you see an old guy on Instagram that's like a model.
Yeah,
with like a big white beard.
Yeah,
but then they're wearing clothes that kids
Skin
younger than
tight.
us wear. Yeah,
and smexy.
Yeah,
but
tan.
What's odd about this movie is that Mark Wahlberg is acting like he can't do anything, but
he looks fine.
He looks fine. He's like, I don't have my glasses, kid. I can't read this fine print, kid.
And if you live in the Midwest, I guarantee you've gone to a Hy-Vee where there is a endless loop of Mark Wahlberg talking about how he gets up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym for 2 hours, then eats a shake, then eats a Wahlburger,
yes,
and then eats another shake, and then goes back to the gym all day.
All day he lives there.
This is what he does. He goes to the gym to do this, and then you put him in the movie, and you have him trapped behind a grate.
He's a gym shark.
I don't want to jump too far ahead in the movie. So yes, we meet.
Sure. But that's the other thing. Yeah, he's almost never in the action with. He's flying the copter. He's doing. You could get any guy. You know. They should have got Danny DeVito. That would have been funny.
Come on, kid. He's flying the plane with a cigar in his mouth.
Come on. That's funny. Or who's that guy that everyone puts on like conservative memes that he probably actually isn't conservative in real life? He has the mustache. He looks like Sully. He's the actor, and it's always like, if you pull yourself up by the bootstraps, ain't no one there to tell you to tie them right.
Are you talking about Sam Elliott?
Yes. Get that guy. He can fly a copter.
Yeah.
It's just that I think Wahlberg has been attached to play Nathan Drake for so long.
How old is he? This is not our typical show. I'm allowed to look stuff up.
Yes. Yeah, typically we don't. Wahlberg was attached to play Nathan Drake so long that he aged out of Drake and said,
he's 50.
I'll stick around and play Sully now. He's 50?
He's 50.
That makes sense, yeah.
I mean, it makes sense, but he looks good.
He looks good. He looks 50. It's hard to tell anymore. 50
Yeah.
When you're a kid, 50 seems like...
All right, Todd Glass. Well, you're doing the old bit. Huh? You're doing the old bit.
I'm sorry. You're right. 50 to new 30.
Yeah, I think that's the bit. Everyone go out there and just look up 50 years old. You'll see what I'm talking about. Hey, it's me, Mark Wahlberg.
Well, it's funny because, Roger Moore, when he was making the Bond movies. Exactly. So, so what even happens? So Drake's a bartender. He's stealing much jewelry from the little twerps that are...
I'm not from around here. Greenwich Village must be nice. Daddy's credit card. Charge it twice.
He's flirting with the young co-eds, and there's some funny jokes. Tom Holland, he's a charming fellow.
Yeah.
I like him.
I like him.
Is he Nathan Drake?
Right. He's doing... this is the thing. He's Spider-Man. We all know him as Spider-Man. And you saw him in that movie Cherry Popper or whatever it's called. By the guys that did the Avengers. He's in a movie called Cherry Dinger or whatever.
Oh, yes. He's like, I'm a spy.
And he's like, give me all the money in the bank or something, right?
I have multiple personalities.
And then they're turning it off.
Yeah. So
Cherry Bomb? That can't be right.
I think it's just Cherry.
Okay. So I shouldn't have said Cherry Popper. So he was in that and he could cry.
Hey, he can cry. Yeah, but here's the problem. He's always playing Peter Porker, isn't he?
Right. And in this, is that what he's doing? He's doing kind of the same thing.
Yeah. Well, in the Uncharted video games are funny.
Yes.
It's all about the character stuff. Mm-hmm. Nathan Drake is funny because he has good little one-liners and stuff. But the funny parts of this movie were more of Tom Holland being kind of awkward and doing his shtick, which is fine. But
Nathan Drake is cocky.
He's cocky. he knows he's going to get out of the situation. He doesn't know how. This guy's kind of bumbling around. He doesn't have that cockiness. Now, of course, you could say, well, that's because it's his first adventure.
Right.
But therein lies the problem.
What do we like about Uncharted? This man is Nathan Drake by name and name alone. If he were not wearing the little slingy gun thing around his
Well, and he just got
shoulder.
that at the end.
Yeah, because you're slowly seeing him become. It's just one of those video game adaptation things. You
Yeah.
slowly see them get the stuff that makes up their character wardrobe in
Yeah.
the first game.
But I don't know.
My issue with the beginning part of the movie.
Jesus.
And yes, we did like it. So all you haters out there.
Hey, haters, stay away.
First of all, haters, we drink Haterade.
Yes.
We know that haters make us famous. We know that we could buy a shirt that is a picture of the Hogwarts logo and it says haters make us Seamus. We know that we can get this stuff.
Yes.
We're not afraid of you.
We're not. Say what you want.
And we have gotten some nasty comments from people saying that we just pick the movies apart. Well, guess what?
So does Roger Ebert. Yeah, and you don't see him.
Well,
What do you want us to do? You want us to sit here and agree that the movie's good the whole time and shake
good.
hands?
And then my problem with this setup is that they know that we know that, and I know you're thinking of Phoebe Buffay saying the famous line. They know that we know
I
that
was in a pool.
he's not gonna say no to this adventure.
Of
They
course.
need to get past. How do we set up his first adventure without going back and forth with
Yes.
him rejecting the hero's call?
Yeah.
So they set it up as fast as possible,
Which is
but they
good.
go through. It's good, but they just speed up all the tropes. Like
Yeah.
Sully's just there. How you doing, kid? Just stole everything. Leaves
Yeah.
him a note that says, "Kiss, kiss, come get me."
Yeah.
He goes to his house. Kid, I knew you was gonna come. Got you a drink.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to. Leaves, comes back. I knew you was gonna call.
Yeah.
It all happens within the span of 5 minutes.
Yeah. But
Because we know what he's going to do.
yeah, and to me that's fine.
It's
because
fine.
we know what he's going to do.
But this is
I
my
don't-
problem with this being why
Exactly.
even have to do any of this?
Exactly.
We know that he's going to become this, and I'd like to see him when he sees someone, right? Think about it this way.
Yeah.
But Nathan Drake has a history. So when like this girl comes into his life and you go, "Oh, something's gone on between them," and he's been heartbroken.
Yes.
What was that?
What was
What
it?
could break such a strong man?
Hey, here's my biggest issue.
Auga.
I know that yes, he has a history with Chloe in the games.
Yeah.
But
She's
who's
40.
his love?
Yeah.
Elena. Elena.
Well, Landon, herein lies the other issue with these movies. They have to save something for the sequel.
But you don't. Make the best movie you can make.
Mm-hmm.
There's always more story you can come up with, especially when there's 4 hit video games in the series. You can just take. But here's the other big issue.
They did take.
They took all of the best parts from all the games
They opened with a big plane falling out of the sky.
from 3.
They take you to a flashback with his brother, one of the best parts.
Whenever there's a flashback in the game, I always say, "Oh, goody."
This is the map of Magellan.
He sailed around the world.
But it was a lie.
Okay.
Okay. You know your stuff, kid. I like it.
They-
I like the movie. Just let me have a little. And then they go to the auction house.
The auction house, which was from 4,
Which
was
is
it not?
in 4, yes. Which is a pretty big part of 4.
Yeah, and it's a
very
fun
long
mission.
part, yeah.
And it's with a certain brother, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I remember right.
He comes back.
But I just think you have all of this, like the fun of when Chloe shows up in the games is that we know that he kind of likes Elena. Mm-hmm. And I believe when Chloe shows up, we don't think Elena's in the because it's kind of like because I think she shows up in the second one, right?
Oh yeah.
And we kind of think it's more of a Bond situation where he's going to have a different girl for each adventure.
Oh.
No.
No.
Then Elena shows up again, and he like her.
Oh.
And he's like,
No, listen. Me and Chloe, we'd been through a lot
But
together.
how old is Chloe?
huh? In this movie?
In this movie, she knows Sully. They have a history. Sully is 50.
Yes.
We know this.
We know this. She
She must be younger, but older than Draken.
she's older than Draken, but younger than Sully. So that
Yes.
gives her at least 25 years
Yeah.
leeway.
She's at least 10. She could be 15 years older than our hunk Drake.
She
And-
could, but he has eyes for her, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he can't stop. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, kid. I couldn't hear this
You can't
movie at
hear
all.
Jack.
Which is fine when the majority of the movie is made up history. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The fun is in watching them solve little puzzles that have been hidden in dirt for thousands of years, and then they do one little swipe with their finger, and then a whole mountaintop swivels around.
Yeah. What? It's also bad because the puzzles aren't good. What is that? You have an infinite amount of time. You had 10 years that this movie, at least 10 years that this movie was in development.
And it's not even constrained to, we have to do something that's related to the video game.
No.
You have your imagination.
you can do anything.
We are the species that spawned Einstein.
And Einstein didn't kill himself.
Look, hey, if you're watching the video, watch this. Okay?
That's a real picture of him.
He's crazy. He can have fun.
You can literally come up with anything. But what do we have?
I just said
I
you
got-
could spin a mountaintop around. That's not even in the movie. That's just off my head.
I got one key, and you got another key. And if we put them together, they look kind of like a ladder. And
Does this
Is
look
that-
like a ladder?
Oh, something so frustrating.
I was also confused by. Okay, so we're skipping ahead a little bit, but not really.
Sure.
You know,
Once you get into the meat of it,
he's
it's
like,
all,
I have a map. Let's go.
Yes.
So then they go to
it's,
Barcelona.
It's boilerplate.
But they go
adventure
into the
stuff.
church.
That's fine.
There's an arrow pointing to a door that goes downstairs. No one's ever gone downstairs before. That's
Right,
fine.
right.
There's 2 holes to put the keys. He turned them. They shoot. They blow darts.
They blow darts.
He moves. They turn them the other way. It's fine.
It's fine.
They go to hell. They go to hell, and hell is a rave. Okay. Now,
where the bad guys already are.
yeah, that's what I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
So they did this whole, we got to get to this location.
Yeah.
Weird enough that this location, okay, maybe it makes sense that after all these years, this area has become an underground rave. Barcelona, we know, is known for their underground raves.
Well, it's where the angels and demons go to play.
Exactly. And they see the sign that says Invictus, and he says, what does that mean? Hell.
Hell.
But they're already there.
The bad guys are already there.
So they knew they were going to go there?
It's one of those inexplicable sort of. I mean, that just kind of happens. It keeps happening. Like at the end of the movie, Drake figures out the big puzzle that his brother Sam left him on his postcards. One of the first things we see in the movie is that, well, cheer up, it's fine.
It's a fun movie.
One of the first things we see.
He burns the paper like in the video game.
Yes.
Hey, did you play the PS Vita game
Yeah.
where you have to see through the paper? Mm-hmm. You have to hold it up to a light source.
Yes.
That's fun.
It's awesome.
It's interactive.
It's
something I
interactive.
wish this movie would be a little more of.
Well, there's the big problem. We already have these games that are
Better than this movie.
yes, but that's. Hold on. Let me go back.
And it is my favorite movie of the year.
Of course.
I'm not shooting on it.
So at the end. No. So at the beginning, we see one of the first things we see is that Sam gives Nathan a special paper with ink that if you hold your lamp up to the back, and by lamp, of course, I mean a flame, a lighter. If you hold it up to the back, it reveals a hidden message. So all of this time that he's been getting postcards from his brother,
He never thinks.
he never thinks maybe that could be. And then, not even that. There's finally we we get to the end, and he's like,
I just know my brother sent me a message in these postcards. There's gotta be something here. Let's
spend a whole night's montage worth.
Where they fade out with her saying, I have to go to bed.
I have to go to bed. And then he looks
Bananas.
up. He looks up like he's answering the call, but he's just going to fall asleep also. Baffling. But I'm just happy they didn't do the Sony. Sony movies are funny because they always put in a whole bunch of product placement and
Like their Xperia phones. Like
yeah, and music drops. Where one of the most insane ones ever is in Amazing Spider-Man 2 when he's putting Peter Parker's like doing one of those big things where you put the string on the wall and you're connecting all the dots, and it's for no reason at all they play that Philip Phillips song, like Make This Place Your Home or something. Or no. It's I would do it for you. And he's just like figuring out, it's like 45 seconds of him nothing happens. He's researching and they're just playing that song. Anyway, I'm just glad they didn't do that at least.
Okay.
But you have all night you don't think. That's the first thing you think of, isn't it?
Well, it's funny that just going back to the first time he does it, he's like, I'm going away. I don't know when I'm going to see you. He gives him a note.
Yeah.
He hands him a piece of paper and he's like, hold on to this. The first thing he does the second he leaves is reads it and it just says, love you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, hold on to this. It's not even a secret. Just like, am I crazy, brother? He's just like, I will miss you. Love you.
And that, yeah, it doesn't have to be a secret.
None of his notes are good, though. They're all like, someday you will see big thing.
Yeah.
They're all very generic.
Wish you were here.
That's why I thought,
you.
when I kept seeing them, I was like, these are dumb notes, but maybe they are like an anagram. It's like something is in them.
That would have been
because I was
more
like,
fun.
There's a reason why all these notes are short little things.
Yes.
It's because they're spelling something.
Yeah.
No, they're just like...
He just had a second in Belize and
Yeah.
was like, hey, wish you were here.
And then his note, the one
Much
that
love.
he's got, I don't know how many of these, 20 30 note cards.
No, leaves.
Postcards, sorry, excuse me.
Postcards.
And the first one he lights up says the frickin' keys.
The keys are the key.
The keys are the key.
The keys are your compass. The keys are your compass. Okay, so fine. He does that. He puts the two keys on the map that have 2 points that intersect at one location, so they kind of point to the location. But if you would have done it the opposite way, they would have pointed at the bottom of the map.
It's a faulty system.
It's a faulty system.
And it's such a, what is that? The keys are your compass, okay? You know?
Yeah.
Like, if you just saw that, like, he can't figure out the note, how to read the hidden message.
Right.
But the second he says that, he's like, I'll put the keys here, and they'll kind of line up in this crack in the earth.
And he looks at the keys and for some reason thinks, oh, I know, I have to pull this side of it off, and that is like a little stick that I stick in the map.
Yeah.
Why would he think that he could do that?
Because you would think it's just, oh, the keys are not, they're also literally compasses.
Yeah.
Like that you have a little point that sticks into the map so you can chart. You could point them, they could swivel a little.
Yeah.
They could do anything.
Have you ever used a compass?
It's a circle.
Yeah.
It makes a whole circle.
But then...
That's good. Watch the video. You can see Landon find out what a circle
But
is.
sometimes it kind of moves out and your circle and your ends don't meet up,
Yep.
and then you're like, well, that's rich.
And the ends of the keys are so...
they're huge.
They're so huge and bulbous. They just both kind of knock into each other at a point. And then he's like,
But that's why they would intersect at 2 points.
yeah.
So
Yeah, because they can swivel the other way. I get you.
why didn't... So he could have... They could have at least addressed that, been like, well, it can't be here because it's the middle of the ocean.
Well, they could
They didn't even show that. They could have showed that and
Why
said,
doesn't
okay,
he could have marked that spot for her to find
sure.
instead of just a random GPS location?
Yeah.
So she sees that And then Sully says, how'd you think of that, kid, or whatever? He's like,
Yeah.
I knew that they pointed north because my brother's a North Star.
Yeah.
something.
Something. Anything. So he tells Chloe a different location.
And she's like,
I've got it.
We know that the bad guys are looking on the complete West Coast, according to the map that they show us in the movie. They're on the West Coast looking completely in the wrong place. Only Nathan Drake knows where it is. Well, and of course Sully, because they have GPS,
GPS, yes.
the app that we all use where you can select either Sully's phone or Nathan's phone. Or both.
And it's already
that you
got
can
your
track.
pictures, your profile pictures preloaded.
So, so he goes and finds the secret thing, but for some reason, the bad guys see Nathan driving his boat just by happenstance. Make everyone smarter. Mm-hmm. It's possible to do that. You can have set up some time earlier where Nathan obviously isn't completely... Well, for one, you already know that Sully doesn't know when someone's tracking him. You set that up earlier in the movie when Chloe is like, I've been tracking you since the airport. And he's like, really? The airport? You've been tracking me the whole time? Since the airport? Are you serious? Everyone's stupid. So, you
Check
already...
your backpack. You didn't see her? You're telling him to check his backpack? You're looking at her.
You're looking at her. You guys were both watching her the whole time.
She is going behind Nathan's back. You can see everything that's going on.
There's a bunch of that in the movie too, where like people are pickpocketing impossibly.
Just insane things.
Yeah.
Even at the end when he's like, he takes the necklace off the guy's neck somehow.
It's if you weren't helped by the movie cutting away and just taking like
You have to be a realistic pickpocket.
Yeah.
I know that the things they're finding are impossible.
Just
Things are happening every day.
the other thing that bothered me too was at the end when there's a room full of, I don't know, 20 henchmen and the main bad guy, Joe Braddock or whatever. She kills Antonio Banderas, slits his throat, one tiny, tiny drop of blood dripping from his neck.
She also doesn't really slit it. She just kind of holds that crescent moon thing there and like rocks it
Yeah.
one way.
Do you think that was Antonio like, don't hurt me?
Yeah, he's like, he's had like a fake knife run across his throat, and he's like, if you hit my Adam's apple, it really like hurts.
It's like, please be gentle.
Why? How did they get him?
He had like 4 days on set.
Because he doesn't do anything.
And I wish he would have. I was kind of upset that they...
You got him to be this...
Well,
why
and that-
can't he fight anyone?
Isn't that more interesting? He wants like his family name to be... I don't know. It was... In one way, I kind of liked it because it was unexpected in a way.
It was unexpected, but they set up, this is his father's thing. He thinks it's his.
Yes.
And he's hired 2 people that could then go back and forth on their own terms with him still alive.
Right.
They just kill him. So that whole thing is just...
It's nothing.
It's nothing.
And Braddock, or whatever her name is, has proven that she's no good.
Yeah.
So then, I don't know.
She proves she's no good, but then they're all following her.
Yeah, like why are all those guys
Why
are
are
just
they-
now like, all right, and now you're our boss.
Why are they tied to her like, yes, this will be our... Isn't he giving you something to do this for him?
Of course. I would think. There seemed to be no reason for her to do that, except just to have more of the cut.
But as you're saying, speaking of the cut, everyone's watching.
Everyone is staring at her as if they're in a movie theater and she's on the movie picture screen.
Uh-huh.
She kills Mr. Banderas, and up on stage with her is Chloe. They cut away to the crowd of henchmen who are kind of not in agreement with Braddock, and they cut back to Braddock. She is now alone on the stage, and she says, "Hey, where'd Chloe go?" So you're telling me 20 plus guys didn't see Chloe just exit stage left, nor Joe Braddock. She didn't see it. Okay, fine. She was giving a speech. 20 guys didn't see her just walking out and say, hey, let's stop. Hey, wait a minute.
Or at least see which way she went.
Yeah.
Even if they thought it was fine that she was leaving until she goes, where'd she go? They're like,
right out that door.
That
the only
way.
exit in the... Stupid. But it is a fun movie.
yeah.
Let's
And
see.
it's good to see Marky Mark and Tom do their little back and forth. Why not give Mark Wahlberg more to do? Like action-wise. He wanted to be Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
But his fight scenes are either things happen off screen,
Mm-hmm.
like he just can't get the grate off this thing, and then
Yeah.
inexplicably.
Yes.
We just got out of a movie. We're filled with popcorn. Just give me a break here. Okay, and then it just fades out, and he's down there.
Yeah, he got down there somehow.
She got out somehow,
She got out,
and he got in,
and he got in.
and never the twain shall meet. So he just gets in and then help. They don't really explain things like that when they are in a situation where you can't get in or out of that situation. Much like, so then he just kind of fades out, fades in, and he's there.
Mm-hmm.
Or he gets a parachute and does his own thing. And I know he's not the center of the movie,
No, but
but he's always just kind of running around somewhere else. And then it's up to Nathan to figure it out.
yeah, which is kind of in line with the games, but you're also making a point of setting up these two as they are.
He's supposed to
when
be
we-
his
mentor.
mentor.
He's supposed to be him brother,
Yeah.
him mentor, him daddy.
Me, Sonny. Daddy.
I don't. So yeah, I don't know. They could have. I liked their chemistry.
Yeah.
They had some funny back and forth, some funny banter.
But it's the same if you replace Tom Holland with like Will Ferrell.
Sure.
Mark Wahlberg's going to do the same thing.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Or like a bear that's a ball on a stick on set.
Yeah. Yeah, he will do his thing no matter what. Won't he?
Yeah.
I've never seen one of those like serious movies where like one
Ted
of those
2?
Christian movies.
You've never seen one of those serious Christian movies.
Not a single one.
What are you talking about?
Well, Wahlberg is in some of those movies where he's like he's like, I'm just a dad trying to get by.
Like a Pure Flix type of thing?
Yeah, there was one recently.
Like
I
he's like
think.
a retired firefighter and
Yeah, like stuff like that. Or
Okay.
like, I have to drive my tractor across the nation.
Yeah.
And they're like, what? Because my daughter needs a new heart.
Hey, didn't he have a mustache and something? Just give him his mustache.
Give him his mustache.
Why do you have to wait for it to be a joke?
And why do you put the post-credit scene in the trailer? Are you that? You're that.
That's what I was worried
self-conscious?
about the
Movie?
ratings.
Yeah.
Because when you put like when a man gets a cat, did you see this ad?
No.
It's him giving him the cat, and he's like, because I thought you needed a friend because you're lonely, and then it's like how it started versus how it's going. Well, you know how
Yeah.
every company has to let's
Everything's
do the
the
meme.
internet, yeah.
Yeah. So it's like how it's going, and then he's like, I take Mr. Whiskers everywhere, and he's got a mustache, and you clearly know this is the end of the movie where everything's fine,
Right.
and they're showing the little like, oh, he actually does love him, kitty.
Yeah. Well, even in the trailers, you knew that was the post-credit scene, or like at the very end of the movie.
God.
Because they show you everything else in the movie in the trailer, and then suddenly they show you a scene where Drake is in his famous baseball tee,
Yeah.
3/4 sleeve baseball tee, and he's talking to some guy that isn't in the rest of the movie,
Right.
And Sully comes in with a mustache, and he goes,
What is that on your face?
And his answer is, puberty coming a lot quicker than you think, kid. Puberty comes quicker than you think, or something. It's about puberty.
It's about puberty.
He's 50.
all of the joke. Well, he's saying that, like,
Maybe someday you can grow one.
But it doesn't explain the choice to all of a sudden have like a tiny mustache. It's not even big.
no.
Give him a big bushy one.
It's just some of the it's just strange, some of the choices. It's weird that the movie ends with a pop song, like a pop rap song.
Yeah.
Like it's a Fast and the Furious
That
movie.
is like made for Uncharted.
You have a theme song that is, to many, iconic. The only time they play it in the movie is when they give you the cameo of the voice actor of Nathan Drake from the games.
Another point where it doesn't make sense they are stuck in the middle of the ocean.
Yes.
And
Can't even put it to words how insanely stupid it is. They're in the middle of the ocean, and they're both talking about how they can't see anything for miles and miles. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed, and Chloe goes, "What? Wait. Do you see what I see?" And he goes, "Yeah, endless blue ocean, more like it." And she goes, "No, Nathan." Smash cut to them walking up out of the water to a resort.
a resort town.
On an island.
You didn't see that?
How did you not see that? Of course, she never looks a different direction. She's staring straight ahead the whole time.
And even he's looking, like, until the point where she needs him to not be looking that way.
Yeah.
They're both just, like, talking and looking around. And then all of a sudden he's like, I'm depressed.
Yeah.
I'm stuck in the ocean.
Do you see what I'm seeing?
Endless ding ding.
And it's just, it's the continent of America that they've missed.
Like, but even if it's so far off, it's just a speck on the horizon. It suddenly appeared? Why do you just now see it? You're barely moving on the little cargo.
Yeah, if you just now saw it, you're moving so slow that you are going to be dead. By the time you get there, your skin will be burnt to a crisp.
And that's the thing too. They intimate that they swam. So it was close enough to swim because they come out of the water onto the beach, and then it's the the famous Uncharted theme song. They walk up to Nolan North, who, by the way, also looks pretty good. He could just play.
He looks like Nathan Drake.
Like, he could just do it, or he could play Sully. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, I'm sure at one point they could get a body double to throw a woman through a plate glass window for him.
Yeah.
That's the extent of what he has to do.
So, and then it's a cameo. It's nice. They got him in. That's fine. But it's an insane... It takes you out of the movie so far and for so long. It's a long cameo.
And it's also so, like, if you don't know who that is...
Right. It's insanity
It
to
makes
watch.
no sense. I fell out. It's just like a bonkers thing.
They come out of the water. He says, "Hey, what happened to you two kids?" or whatever. And they're like, our plane crashed and we fell out of and I got hit by a car in the sky and I fell into the water. And he goes, "Yeah, that happened to me too." And they say, "Okay," and walk away. And then you think that's it. They cut back to him. He turns around in his chair, looks into the camera and winks and says, "Good luck."
So you're telling me that he's Nathan Drake?
Yeah. There's no other explanation.
Other than it could just be like weird guy on the beach.
I wonder what it is. Like, if you didn't know who that was, I wonder
Would you just think it's like a weird joke?
A weird joke, but like it wasn't funny.
You could stop there.
Like,
it's just weird because you're alluding to the fact that he's Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
But we're watching Nathan Drake.
And they didn't make him, like, if they wanted to be like, okay, this guy's crazy.
Yeah.
He obviously could not have also had that happen to him.
He should then, like, put his sunglasses on upside down or, like, try to drink a pina colada through a fork. Or show that he's, like...
Show that he's insane. Or, yeah, like, put a dozen beer bottles around him, have him act drunk or something, or make them look a little more confused by what he just said, because they don't really. I think I gave it, if you're watching the video, of course, I think I gave it more of the okay.
Yeah, they just kind of.
They just say okay.
Okay.
Baffling.
Or cut to maybe you need, as we know, as professional comedians,
Yes.
rule of 3.
Yes.
In the post-credit scenes, maybe have something happen where he sees a car falling out of the sky from another plane, and he's just like 3 times in 1 week. Like he says something
he
where
says
so maybe he really was in a situation like that.
This has to stop happening to me. Something like that.
And this is just readers roundtable. We're just the readers, and we're just doing a little roundtable.
Absolutely.
I could come up with something 1,000 times better if you just gave me 5 minutes of silence.
Well,
I'm just saying, come back to it.
Yeah.
Explain it just a little bit more. Just like what is that?
Yeah. Or even no, that's too far. But at some point when they're finding the treasure, like they look over and he's sunbathing in the thing or something. Wouldn't that be funny? I don't know.
Or just after
what are you doing here?
what happened to, and he's like, you just hear someone say what happened to you, and you're just like, my helicopter dropped a pirate ship on my enemy's head or something.
Yeah.
He's just like, we've got to stop meeting like this.
Yeah, at the very end.
He's like, all right, now I think you're just making fun of me.
They sidle up to the bar to celebrate with their gold. Yeah. That's funny. I don't know.
I mean, because if you're going to do it, just put your balls on the wall or whatever.
Yes. Take them out, slap them against the wall like Adam Devine.
Yeah. And just...
From what I've heard.
From what you've heard.
Okay, so let's see. What else? Acting, bad. No, I don't know. The villain, I didn't find the villain because I liked Antonio Banderas, but the Joe Braddock character, I found her to be
Stiff.
And also...
She
I don't know.
looks to me to be the same age as Tom Holland.
Yeah,
so you've
she's
got
not-
a 25-year-old mastermind villain who has a history with Sully.
Right. Who has had sexual relations with Sully.
Oh, yeah. That's definitely what it seems to be that they're alluding
Because
to.
when they're in the Papa John's and
They're wrestling.
she's
in the
got
Papa
her legs
John's.
wrapped around his head.
Yeah.
She says, "Hey, meat stick.
Yeah. And
How
he's
do you like this
yeah.
again?" And he's like, "I love this again." I'm like, do any of these lines make sense? I can't believe they wrote that into the movie. Just like that.
Just
verbatim.
exactly.
No, what
And she is like killing that, like, whenever they can't show anyone killing anyone because I guess this is a children's movie. But whenever she kills someone, it's not very believable.
Yeah.
Like, she kills Antonio Banderas' dad. She's like, you got it. But you're supposed to believe she's like someone that murders people.
She's a
I'm
cold-blooded
just not
killer,
buying
but
it.
also like it has like a funny banter with
It's style
Sully.
over substance. It really is.
It really is. And nothing against the actor.
No.
But
They're choosing to make her look cool over giving us some sort of like, why is this? It's just your typical bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Chloe.
She was fine.
Yep.
Mark Wahlberg. He's fine.
He's doing his thing.
He's doing his thing. The other thing I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the Papa John's because, as I said before, Sony always has some stupid product placement. This, at first, catches your eye in the background of a scene when they're in. Is that when they're in Barcelona?
Yeah. Near the fountain.
Yes, and Sully is walking around on his phone or whatever, and you just kind of see huge signs for Papa John's in the background, and you kind of think, Okay, we get it.
Yeah.
Product placement. And then he finds himself in the Papa John's looking for the next clue to stick his key in or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And suddenly it became very funny to me. Because that does make sense. Like, these traps were put in thousands of years ago or hundreds of years ago. It makes sense that they would be, like, covered by something new. I think that's kind of funny. Like, yeah, it used to be this ancient temple or whatever. Now it's a Starbucks.
And it's separated enough that you can see the history. And you see this in places like with Starbucks. They'll build around the thing. To be like, we're incorporating the history of the area.
Right.
And even with the rave, they go to this rave and the wall says hell. So you go, oh, maybe they decide to make this little like nightclub.
Yeah.
They don't know that it's an actual passageway to Salt.
Yes.
Yeah. So that is good. And he says, I'm literally standing in a Papa John's.
Yeah.
He looks at the camera, winks. The sweatiest, greasiest ex-owner of Papa John's walks onto screen.
Yes.
Says, I have eaten 387 pizzas this month.
Yeah.
It's funny.
What are you gonna do?
It's fun. I found that to be actually one of the more, as maybe counterintuitive as it may seem to say, I found that one of the more inspiring bits in the movie. Because you know exactly why it's in there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they got a bunch of money from Papa John's.
Oh, yeah.
But also, they use that in a clever way. I thought it's kind of funny. And you get to just put them in a set and you don't have to go to Barcelona. And they get to fight in a fake Papa John's instead of, you got to think about this. The whole movie takes place in a green screen studio. Except for one
shot.
Like, part of a lame chase scene in Barcelona.
Yeah.
And a couple shots where they show, like, see, we're actually here. They actually ran through a fountain or whatever. They're actually looking out over the beautiful vista of Barcelona. Otherwise, it's all on a green screen.
Yeah. They gave him a week. They said, go to Barcelona.
Which is also weird why I can't hear anything.
Because they're not shooting.
They're not on location.
Ocean. Yeah.
Just turn the mic up. Get them back in there for some looping. Crazy.
No time. I mean, who knows with these schedules these days with these celebrities
They had
these
10
days.
years.
Yeah.
That's what's weird to me, too, is it just a point, like, at this point, they had so many different iterations of this where it's like they didn't know what was good.
Any of these are fine.
Mm-hmm.
We have something written that's fine. It would make a fine video game. If the video game ended with 2 pirate ships being found and then helicopters came and lifted them out of the air and you got to fight on them, that's cool. You know what's not cool? Just watching it.
Therein lies the biggest problem of an Uncharted movie.
I want to be...
You want to be the guy doing the actions. Mm-hmm. And especially when the games are CG. I don't need to watch just cutscenes.
And the cutscenes in this are CG.
Yes.
When they are grabbing each other's arms and then you see them flailing around. It's like it's a fully animated person.
Absolutely. There's no... Like, I would think the only way to make this cool would be to do a Mission Impossible.
Mm-hmm.
Get the people doing the stunts. Throw them out of the side of a helicopter. Do it. Just do it. That's spectacle. We already have the games.
I want to see it.
We know what it looks like for fake little animated people to do it. Show us what real people doing it would look like.
Well, I think that's the issue with you don't get a lot of these types of action movies anymore.
No.
And I think it's because of the prevalence of CG where you used to get, if I saw Bruce Willis kicking ass, I knew it was B-Dub kicking ass.
Yes.
I knew it was him jumping off a bridge onto a boat, and then you see the behind the scenes where he comes back up to the bridge and he goes, did that with gum in my mouth. And he shows that he did the whole thing just chewing gum.
Yes.
That's real.
That's real.
And then you've got...
How about Raiders or Indiana Jones?
Yeah.
Which one's the one
What
where he's
about
on the tank?
The one where he's on the tank.
Which
is that Crusade?
I think it is Last Crusade.
Yeah.
One of my, and I know it doesn't seem like it because I can't remember which movie it's in. One of my favorite action scenes ever.
I think that's Crusade.
He's crawling all over it. He has to fight people on it. It tells a whole story. There's comedy. There's
And you're actually seeing him do it because I don't want to see an animated person do that.
no.
I don't care.
And hey, by the way, that's not the biggest stakes on Earth. It's a tank that's going, I don't know, 5 miles per hour. The most suspenseful thing is when he's hanging from his little thing. You know what I'm talking about? He's hanging from his from a belt on a bag, and he's being almost going to be crunched into the side of the cave or whatever, into the side of the wall.
It's got to be the third one
It's got to be.
because they're heading out to see the old man with this cup.
Yes, right.
Right?
It's 3.
It's got to be 3.
And if it's not, you know what I'm talking
if
about.
it's not, shut up.
I'm just saying this type of movie stands on the backs of giants. You gotta give us a little more. You gotta give us a little more.
I think that's where some of the bad reviews are coming in. It's just
it's just not right.
and it's just not right.
I think you gotta turn everything up a little bit.
In the little mid credit scene, the little mid credit stinger, the guy with the eye patch, his eye is bloody under there.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? It looks like a fresh wound.
Yeah. Oops, sorry.
Like they wanted it to kind of look gross.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why is it still bloody? Why wouldn't you clean it?
Yeah.
Just a little something I noticed.
But whatever that is setting up, that already excites me more than what we watched.
yeah,
That's what's fun.
I 100% wish that they were going to be making a second one.
I think they will.
You do?
It exceeded all box office expectations.
Huh. Okay.
So I believe they will do a sequel.
So what was the thing with Tom Holland? He filmed this, and then it was 2 days later he started filming the new Spider-Man movie?
Something like that, yes.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Busy little boy.
But that's why I'm saying, does he want to do another one? I guess it doesn't matter what he wants to do. He doesn't. I'm sure if I did one Spider-Man movie, I'd be happy. And they're like, well, you got to do 5 more.
Yeah.
Like, I got other stuff to do.
Well, that's why he said
I got this puzzle.
I think I'm going to retire from Spider-Man by age 30.
When I'm 30...
Like, no, you're not. And he's like, I know.
I want to start a family with Zendaya. And she's like, Tom, can I speak to you over here?
Could we talk about this in private first? Smoking. He's like, you smoke now? And she's like, yeah, haven't you seen Euphoria? So, it's an oral fixation.
Yeah, tell me about it.
They...
Ooga.
Well, Tom Holland, apparently, I saw an interview with him just today, in fact, where he was saying he's wanted to be Bond, and they have talked to him about Bond, but he pitched an idea for Bond that they did not like. But so he wanted his own sort of action star vehicle, so that's why he really gravitated towards Uncharted. And I like him as Nathan Drake. It's just not the same, but that's okay. We have the games.
Maybe this could be, and it's not going to, but if this could be his Mission Impossible, where we see Uncharted 5 in like 15 years.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And we see him grow as Nathan, and he's got this whole backstory.
Because he is a very agile and sort of he can do some stunts and stuff. I don't think he would ever do the types of things Tom Cruise does because
No way, mister.
no one should. I don't blame him, but he can do the fight stuff. Like he's doing flips and stuff, and that's all him. That stuff was all cool. Like when he's jumping around on walls and crap. Mm-hmm. He's smacking people around. That's cool. I don't know. You need someone. You need some sort of visionary. to take over.
Why, when they're talking to people about Bond, do they want to get their... Like, who cares? You got these dumb, hunky actors. He's like, I think Bond should be on a boat sipping a Mai Tai.
Well, apparently it was also his idea to be a bartender in this movie.
Of course it was.
Because he saw some videos of
He wanted a
bartenders.
flippy cup.
Yeah. He's like, I thought that was very cool, so I won't do that in the movie. So, you know, these actors have all sorts of
Yeah.
rights that they
I mean,
can
their
bring into
brains
it.
just are different than the common layperson.
But I think, Daniel Craig brought a lot of his own ideas
well,
to
he's
Bond.
cool.
Yes.
I'm just saying some of these hunky guys they probably talk to,
Yeah.
and they're just like, I want to be on a boat sipping a Mai Tai.
Well, they probably have these general meetings where they're like, so what do you think your Bond would look like? And he's like,
I think my Bond would be probably, I was thinking on a boat sipping a Mai Tai. They've already talked to him about it.
18 times. yes, sipping my time. No, he said his idea for his Bond movie would be an origin story, but you don't know. He said you don't know the whole time that it's a Bond movie until the end.
Okay, that's cool.
I kind of like that too, but he's
At
like,
the very end, it goes, and you're like, what?
yeah. He's like, but he said they, that's obviously not something they would ever do because they want people to know it's a Bond movie.
Because how are they gonna?
No one would go to
do
it.
any trailers for that? What's
Yeah.
the name of it gonna be?
Yeah.
Sphincter. Like you can't say it's.
You can't, yeah.
Just call it James. And I think people are gonna put two together.
Yeah, man. Who do you want to be the next Bond?
I was thinking probably I wanted to be Idris Elba because he kind of just has the feel, and I think that people haven't really thought of him for the part.
Yeah. Well, I think his turn as Knuckles will really open a lot of
He'll
eyes.
do that, but he won't do Bond. He'll do, we make vacations lit, and if by lit you mean literally lit, then we make them lit. He'll do that.
He'll do Bond. They don't want him to do Bond.
I don't think he wants to do it either.
Well, now he doesn't.
He's like, this is your fault. I don't want to do it. You're annoying.
Yeah.
Having fans seem annoying.
Yeah.
Can I get an amen?
Amen.
But yeah, hopefully him coming out and, oh, I forgot to mention one little thing. This is my friend, Knuckles. Hello, mate.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh, you're Knuckles? How can anyone act? How can you say anything with a straight face? But this is Knuckles.
So he named this thing Knuckles. This
How did he get it? I've never seen the first Sonic, but how did he get a hold of this guy?
No.
Isn't he trying to get Sonic's power?
He's trying to get Sonic's power because he puts one of his hedgehog hairs into a machine to gauge how powerful he is, and it says amount of power unlimited. It reads, and then he's like, "This is what I've been looking for,
Sounds
like
funny.
unlimited power."
Yeah. Sounds
We'll get
funny.
into it. This is not the place to
No,
bring this
God,
up.
no.
This is the Lunch Charted episode.
Lunch started. I don't know. Do you have anything else to say about this?
Sony, it's been a long time coming. So long that we've everyone has said, you don't need to do it.
Yeah.
It kind of passed out of the general zeitgeist.
Mm-hmm.
But God bless you, you brought it back.
You said, by God, we're going to do it anyway.
We're going to do it. We're going to put it out in February when all the bad movies come out.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to give you the slump of the year.
Yeah.
But they put it out because they said, we're going to put this out. It's going to make money. Okay?
Well, and I think they also said, wait, so, Tom, when's that epic Spider-Man movie going to be coming? Sometime December, I think. I'm like, okay, so that'll be like box office smash for, I don't know, a month and a half, 2 months.
People be hungry for more Tom Holland.
They want to see Tom Holland. So, yeah, we'll put this stinker out in February. And it worked.
Yeah.
It exceeded all box office projections. I bet it gets a sequel. And in fact, I hope it gets a sequel because I like movies to succeed.
Yeah.
I want to see more movies.
And the sequel, if a sequel is made off the success of the first, they have fun with it.
Yes.
If the sequel is pre-planned, I'm not saying that's bad, but I'm saying you've got a story set out. And sometimes what happens is they don't make that second one. So you've got a third of a movie.
Right.
Okay? With this one, they got to set up another adventure. And if nothing happens with it, fine, because you just know they're going to get in some trouble.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because you saw the adventure and you know that these two rascals
Yes.
are going to give themselves in some more trouble, whether we see it or not.
Right.
But we could see it. And
We
isn't that that's what I want to see.
Yeah. And I hope they open it up a little bit. I hope they get a little more fun with all of it because, like you said, the two pirate ships fighting in the air, that's fun. It could be. It didn't live up to when I first saw it in the trailer. I said, "Oh, that could actually be really fun." I don't think it was as fun as I thought it was going to be in my head. But do you think those helicopters could lift those pirate ships? No.
Especially when they hit something, they fall up. They're so brittle.
They're so brittle.
They're flying these things around in the air.
Oh my gosh, they're so brittle. And everything happens
This wood is rotting.
immediately. They see Nathan Drake on a boat. They immediately know exactly where, like, they know how to follow him after that. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They hook up the things. You're telling me they hook up. Also, how is it hidden? There's a hole as big as the pirate ship that you can lift it out of. No one knows where that is.
They're in a cove, but the cove also has a way to lift them out of the sky. You know what we have now? Yeah, I'm just going to say this, and this is going to be my last word. Google Maps.
Thank you.
I give Nathan Drake's Uncharted film. Well, I had fun with my buddy.
Yeah.
A 7.
Wow. Yeah.
I wasn't expecting much,
No.
and I had fun. I like fake history, stupid shit.
Yes.
I like when they show you a fake map, and then somehow, like Ben Franklin. That's why I like the National Treasure movies.
Some of the most fun movies ever made, I think.
They are taking you on a worldwide treasure hunt.
Ben Franklin once told my great-grandfather that a rose blooms evergreen in the map room. And you know what that means? We're going to have to steal the Declaration of Independence.
Landon, what do you give this movie?
7.
Yes, 7 for you, Uncharted. That is Lunch Break Reviews Uncharted, the Luncharted special. Thank you for watching. We hope that this drives some revenue to us because of something we did that messed up our revenue stream on our podcast, but mostly we hope you had fun. And we have to make a little money because we keep buying these bacterial wipes, and we would like to get a sponsor for the show. Fresh and Clean antibacterial wipes. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much, and peace out, and maybe next time we'll see you next time, and we'll see you next time.
We'll see you at Uncharted 2.
Or the next movie that we review.
Oh, yeah, the Batman.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal, providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.